boy! Are we on?
Starting.
Alright, we're good.
We're live. Hey guys and gals and people who are apparently not that gender. It's Talking Time with Caffeine, the only podcast where we drink caffeine, talk about the world issues and issues
with the TTwC.
Anyways, this is episode 40. Last week episode 38 because me and Snick did a special 9/11 episode on Monday for 9/11. Anyways, as you can see, our main topic is the ending of the MiiVerse. But first, Snick has some environmental news.
There's been rumors that there's been statements that the U.S. might not leave the Paris Agreement because apparently Trump came forward saying, "Oh, we're staying in." Then, of course, the U.S. government itself says, "Oh, we still want to pull out." Though I think the overall message that they're saying, "Oh, they want to renegotiate so it doesn't affect the U.S. economy." I don't know. And even then, there are personalized efforts from plenty of U.S. states that are trying to make their own Paris Agreement, more or less. So, one way or the other, environmental health is probably going to... efforts to improve environmental health are being made one way or the other.
I heard if we don't do it, other countries won't trade with us or something.
So if we don't pull out...
If we do pull out, if
they do pull out?
Yeah, if we do pull out,
Well, yeah, that when come to think about that would actually hurt the economy pretty badly.
Because some countries don't want to do business with us if we don't.
Hey, I think I just figured something out. You know how last podcast I was criticizing how all forms of animation nowadays are all cheap? It's always do it cheap, and no artistic value?
I thought the last one was 9/11, but okay.
Well, turns out a lot of the good quality animation that I saw as a kid and all of you saw as a kid, that was like, that work was actually exported to South Korea and like other countries that are really good at it. But nowadays, a lot of North American and Canadian companies are doing it on their own and they do it cheap. Just look at the Fairly Odd Parents, for example. Just recently, they stopped doing their normal style, and they changed to cheap Flash animation. The original style, I believe, was done in South Korea, but the new style is done in Canada. So, yeah, there we go. There's another revelation. Maybe... if the Paris Agreement happens and nobody wants to do business with the country or North America as a whole, then wah. They brought it upon themselves saying, "Oh, we're going to kill the planet so we can make money, but now we're not going to get money."
Oh, no.
You can't make money on a dead... You can't make... It's like Final Fantasy 7 all over again.
It is like Final Fantasy 7. Oh my god.
Oh my god, we're in a video game world? Holy shit. We made a video game world, and then we remade it in real life. Boom. Now just put it in the future, and there you go.
So, do you have any updates, Mario?
About what?
Anything.
About anything? I got a debit card and a state ID card.
Are you gonna get a driver's license?
No, not right now at least, because there's no way in fucking hell I'd afford that shit.
But now you're not. But now everyone's gonna hate you because they're gonna say you don't drive. What's wrong with you?
Or if you do get it, they're gonna like, "Can I have a ride? Can I have a ride? Can I have a ride?"
Exactly. You can't please everybody.
Oh my god. I feel like that's what it would be like. Can I have a ride? Can I have a ride? Can I have a ride?
Do I know you? Let's show we hung out last week. I never met you before in my life. You made fun of me last week. Yeah, that's before you have a car. Not your car now. Can I ride?
No, even better. I don't even know you. Who the hell are you? Oh, you're my Uber?
I guess it's...
Wrong car.
Yeah, I said last week, we had a special last week. This made Snick because you guys. I think you guys were born yet 9/11 happened, but we talked about so, do you think? Before we go back to the main subject, do you think America's changed in the last 16 years? You've been
Well, first off, I was born a year before it happened, and second, not really too much I can say about it. Though I guess this is going back to your 9/11 podcast, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
In about 4 days from now, I'll be getting on a plane for the first time in like 20 years. Until my flight was 99, so to see my first flight.
You're going to Florida?
Yeah. So this is my
Disney's not closed, I don't think. So the hurricane didn't disrupt it, and Jose's not going there. So.
Hey, wait a minute, Vandalia. Since my debit card came from Chase and it's a Disney themed one, do you want to borrow it?
Sure.
How do I give debit cards to you from different states?
You can mail it to me.
Email it or mail it?
I can't accept it. I can only get it through PayPal.
Snail mail.
Just regular.
But yeah.
Okay.
This is like I said, this will be my first flight since then. And last time I flew in a plane, I got to the airport. I got on the plane in like 20 minutes. I doubt it's gonna take that quick this time around.
Oh hell no! It's not gonna take 20 minutes.
Got off the gate, checked my bags, went through a little small security thing with a conveyor belt, and got on the plane.
Yeah, if you want to get on a plane nowadays, be prepared to go through a huge line of security. I mean huge. Oh, and also be prepared to take off your shoes and then put them back on because they scan your shoes or something.
Yeah. The curious thing is that, if I remember correctly, didn't the hijackers did they only use like basic tools to like take out the pilots?
Probably.
Yeah, because
but because now that I think that the doors are more secure now, the pilot doors is.
It could be partly tools, mainly small weapons like knives, and at least one guy that was just really strong. At least.
I'll tell you one thing. They definitely did not bring guns on those planes. They only had like knives at best, and probably like little screwdrivers or at worst. Or vice versa. I probably got it wrong. Like the most they had was a knife.
Yeah, I heard the doors are reinforced now more than they were back before then.
Good.
Reinforced? What do you mean? Wait, what doors?
Doors from the pilot's office to the rest of the plane.
Yeah.
But
yeah, they don't fuck around anymore.
Yeah, of course there are people out there who still think it was a conspiracy.
Oh yeah, anyone that thinks that 9/11 is a conspiracy needs to have their IQ test, because it's probably not going to give them a good score when it comes to 9/11 questions. Or better yet, give them a 9/11 test and they'll fail, because all they'll say is, it was a conspiracy, the president did it. That's all they'll say. And they use excuses like, oh, well, as you can see from this video, the plane looks like it went past, but then it doesn't go come out from the other side or some stupid shit like that. Or people will say, oh, jet fuel couldn't have melted those steel beams, so it was impossible for a plane to be able to take down those buildings. No, it was a controlled demolition that did it. And here's why I think anyone that says that it was a controlled demolition that took down the fucking Twin Towers is stupid. Here's the reason. Because they already fucking did that before, and they, as in the attackers, they already fucking did that before. They just did it on the bottom floor. Like the very bottom floor, like as low as you can go. And guess what?
Yeah.
Are you talking about the 93 attacks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the U-bomber, not the U-bomber, the U-Haul bomber, I guess, in the basement or something, parking garage.
Honestly, I'm not surprised they didn't up security big time after that. It's like, it has to be all or nothing, or else they don't act on it.
They probably did, but but you know, you can't get into the building, so they got the plane to the building. And between that attack and that attack, there was the homebrew terrorist of the Oklahoma bombing, American-born.
Yeah.
The right wing terrorist.
I mean, the whole thing is, it's not just like
Timothy-
protection from stuff like that. It's just that I've noticed that lawmakers and like people in power don't act on something until something severe happens, and then they make things too harsh.
Yeah.
Like, for instance, take swatting, for example.
Huh?
A lot of people were afraid, because the thing with swatting is that normally the stupid kids that did it, because it is normally kids that do it, at least from what I can tell, if they even get caught, they're just simply told, oh, he was just playing a harmless little prank. He's fine. But then people were afraid what would happen if a swatting incident occurred and someone got shot and killed. All of a sudden, there'd be so much unnecessary protections when put in place, like, oh, maybe streaming would be outlawed, or all reasons to cause swatting would be outlawed. Penalties would be severe, censorship and all that, when all you had to do was catch the perps and give them time in prison.
I think, as I was saying,
Doesn't matter how young they are. They threaten someone's life, so they need to do time.
Yep, and if it's a kid, then off to juvenile.
Yeah, juvie too, if they're that young, but...
Like I said, I was saying, I think it was McVeigh that did the Oklahoma bombing. Timothy McVeigh. I forget why he did it. It happened my freshman year.
Let me look that up, actually, because sometimes attackers don't have a proper reason.
Yeah, he was a homebrew terrorist, or homegrown, not foreign.
Oh, there are homemade terrorists, more or less. But now let's see. Who did it? Let's see. You said it's McVeigh who did it?
Yeah. Oklahoma in 1995.
Yeah. Trying to see why he did it.
So while he's figuring that out, also here's a really good question to anyone that thinks 9/11 was a conspiracy theory. So what about the people that knew anyone who died during that whole incident, whether it was on one of the planes or if it was near or in the building entirely or whatever? What about those people that know those victims that may or may not have been killed? What are you gonna say? Yeah, to those people. Oh, 9/11 was a conspiracy theory. What are you gonna, like? What do you think is gonna happen? Are they gonna tell you some stupid shit, or are they gonna get upset at you? Because I think they're gonna get upset at you because most likely the person that they knew died, and I mean, saying 9/11 was a conspiracy is kind of fucked up at that point.
Yeah, there was a guy. There was a guy who said that about the Sandy Hook incident. Who went online, demanded that people show them death certificates and birth certificates of the kids the kindergartners that were killed at Sandy Hook back like 5-6 years ago. They're like, I don't believe any kids really died. Show me the proof.
And what
it's just, I don't know. He says, I'll give you $1,000 to show me the proof, but first you must give me. But if you can't show me the proof, you give me $1,000.
What? You kind of stuttered there, so I couldn't understand what you were saying.
I think he was trying to say he would give all the parents $1,000 if they provide their death certificates as proof, but if they refused to provide it, they owed him $1,000.
How are they gonna pay him $1,000? I mean,
I don't know. The guy was out of his mind, clearly.
If they don't reveal themselves, they don't have to do shit. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Meanwhile,
but apparently the whole thing was an act. So all those kids didn't really die.
Yeah, right. Meanwhile, hey. I found his reason. Apparently he hated the U.S. government. He wanted to kill some government officials. And apparently the government building he bombed had a daycare inside of it, and he actually expressed remorse for the bombing afterwards, saying he wouldn't have done it if he knew there were kids in there.
Wow.
So basically it was his own political move to extreme, and even then, let's see. He got the death sentence and he was executed.
Wow.
So, curiously, he was executed about 3 months before 9/11.
Wait,
so
3 months?
Yeah, about 3 months. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Went from American terrorists to foreign terrorists.
That was fast. But no, oh shit, I forgot what I was gonna say, and then I remembered, and now I forgot again, and now I'm trying to fucking get this cord unwrapped. Okay. Fuck, what was I gonna say? Oh yeah, now I remember again. So, also, if it was a conspiracy theory, here's a great question. Why the fuck would the government want to take out 2 buildings that took them a long time to build in the first place? That doesn't make sense. They put in tons of money to build 2 buildings that were skyscrapers, use them for a huge purpose, and then destroy them? What the fuck kind of shit is that? And then it costs money just to clean the fucking mess up afterwards. That doesn't make any sense. In fact, if anything, that would make them lose money if they were doing that by themselves. I mean, they most likely lost money even if it wasn't a conspiracy. But, like, if it was seriously a conspiracy, why would the government fuck themselves like that? That's stupid.
All according to plan.
Like, what, is that gonna make them even more money by destroying 2 buildings? Wow, congratulations. It just does not make sense. All the fucking proof that conspiracy uses are fucking bullshit automatically because of the simple fact that why would it be fake when you see victims fucking crying because they know that shit happened? What about anyone that was standing near or see the fucking thing go down? I mean, like, what the fuck? It wouldn't make sense to say to them, "Oh, 9/11's a conspiracy" or some shit like that. I don't even fucking know.
Yeah.
Like, oh, a plane didn't hit it. Plane hits it, and then. What about the fact that there was another plane that didn't even get to hit anything because of the fucking people inside actually fought back, unlike the other 3 planes?
All of it was a hallucination.
Oh my fucking god. I mean, seriously, and if the whole reason was because, oh, they just wanted to up security, here's a better idea. Up fucking security, don't do shit. But, I mean, I don't know what conspiracy reasonings are for. Maybe they don't have a reason. Maybe they just absolutely believe that
9/11 didn't happen the way they described it, because they're fucking stupid, and you can't cure stupidity. It's just that simple, honestly.
Yeah.
You can't deny that 9/11 did not happen the way it actually fucking happened, and instead tell me that, oh, the president set this up, or the government set this up. Yeah, because the government's gonna fuck themselves like that. Are you serious? Fuck off.
Still, 60 years later, and it's still a decisive issue.
Yeah,
But speaking
people
of-
still think it's a conspiracy. That's the sad part.
But speaking of stupid people, not as stupid as the conspiracy people or conspiracists, but
Conspiracy theorists.
yeah. On to our main topic. Last week, our friend Rasta 455 was checking his Wii U to see if he still had issues with it when he discovered something, as you call it, depressing, outrageous, or outrageously depressing.
Yep.
He wrote a message that I'll share with you guys now. Let's see.
It should be in the group chat.
I know, I'm copying and pasting it right now.
I didn't know copy pasted involved more than 4 keystrokes.
Huh.
Control C, Control V,
I know.
enter. No, sorry, 5 keystrokes.
Oh, it will let me write. I think it will only let me do 200 at a time.
What? Here, let me. Are you trying to copy it to the chat?
Yeah.
Hold on.
What are you trying to paste in the chat?
Brandon's Skype message.
Uh,
It says 1200 out of 200. I'll do 2 at a time.
Oh, well, what the fuck? Yeah, you're right. It does do that shit. You know what? Better idea. I'll just read it myself.
Okay.
Oops. Wait. Oh, wait a minute. No, I need to keep these off to read it. That's right. Fuck. Okay. Being stupid. By MarioTube 101. Okay. Brandon said, since I'm at the ball game, I want one of you to say my thoughts on the topic. I'm gonna sit up for this actually. I feel that Nintendo is making a huge mistake. They are discontinuing the MiiVerse, and that's a horrible idea for several simple reasons. 1. They are killing off 2 consoles, the Wii U and the 3DS. Games like Splatoon and Mario Maker will be forever altered, and that's not a good thing. They are taking the social aspect of those consoles, which was the best part of the Wii U, and not so much the 3DS, but it's still important. After the discontinuation of MiiVerse, the Wii U will be dead. Splatoon, for example, will only have avatars in-game, and no more MiiVerse art in your matches. Smash Bros. Still has the MiiVerse stage, but no longer will display art in the background. Another reason is the aspect of banning. While MiiVerse will be dead, so will banning. In one aspect, that's a good thing for homebrew, but in another way, hackers will ruin games like Splatoon. In my opinion, Nintendo should stop, as they are killing 2 consoles and ruining some games by allowing hackers no consequences for hacking. I'm sad about it, and you, the viewers, should enjoy the social aspect of the games and enjoy it while it lasts before it's gone forever. That's his whole message. Here's the thing.
Mario, wait.
No, wait, no. Here's the thing. So,
Wah.
a couple of games well, Smash 4 will have banning still because it has its own banning system, but Splatoon, I'm pretty sure, does not have its own banning system and relies on MiiVerse, which, once MiiVerse is dead, the game becomes unplayable online. Because people will hack the shit out of it. Guaranteed. And people hack the Wii U very easily. Like, it's scary, kind of. But Smash 4 will kind of be put down because of the simple fact that, oh, you won't be able to see characters behind the stage. Well, what the fuck's the point of the stage? And same for Splatoon. What the fuck's the whole point of showing messages in the stages if MiiVerse is basically dead? What's the entire point of that? All you'll see on the lobby is just Inklings walking around, but no messages other than their own name appearing above. And then stages will probably be blank. Well, not blank. The boards or wherever messages appear on the stages will be blank. And honestly, it's doing more harm than good, if anything. And MiiVerse should be one thing that they should not discontinue, because okay, they can discontinue Nintendo TV. They had a good reason to discontinue that, because I don't think anyone really cared about Nintendo TV. But MiiVerse, oh, don't take MiiVerse away. That's fucked up. The whole point of the Wii U is to revolve around MiiVerse and shit like that. And you're just taking it away? Like, what the hell? It was cool to actually see those messages in game, but now you're just fucking taking that out away from us. What the fuck? And besides, Splatoon 1 has been it's been only out for 2 years, man. And it's already gonna be dead once MiiVerse is gone? In 2 years? Are you fucking serious? I mean, I know that Splatfests don't happen in that game anymore, but give me a break. People still play that game. Seriously, you can still easily get in matches in that game as much as Splatoon 2. There's no reason to take MiiVerse away, because then the game will just die. Just like that. Just like that. Like, what the fuck? And I damn guarantee you that nobody's gonna put in their own fucking banning system so then hackers can't, you know, do whatever they want in the game still. I guarantee you that they're not going to do anything like that. They're just going to leave it untouched because the game is complete, and therefore they don't need to do anything at all. So, therefore, that game will be dead, and so will some others. And I feel that maybe the only way we can possibly stop Nintendo from taking down MiiVerse is to basically use MiiVerse a lot. Everyone needs to be using MiiVerse a lot, because that'll get Nintendo's attention, and then hopefully they'll realize, oh, people want MiiVerse, so maybe we should keep it. Because the whole reason that they're getting rid of it, as they state at least, is, oh, people don't want to use MiiVerse anymore, even though we see tons of people using it nonetheless. So maybe if a lot of people use it continuously, then there you go. It should stay up, hopefully, maybe.
What do you think, Snick?
What do I... First, my question, do they have Mii's on the Switch?
No. Well, kind of. I mean, you can create a Mii on there, but they don't really do a whole lot with Mii's as of right now.
So Mii's exist on the Switch?
Yeah, but there's not really there's not really use for them at the state the games are in right now. I haven't spotted a single game from Nintendo that actually uses Mii's in some way.
All I wanted to know is if Mii's are viewable on the Switch.
The closest I've seen Mii's being used on the Switch since day one is using them as profile icons, and that's it. Nothing else.
So there's no Mii app or anything where you can create them?
Within the system, I guess, but other than that, they don't.
So can you only create one, like Xbox Live, or can you create multiple, like the original Wii and Wii U?
I have not tested that. Let me check.
Because that's what I want to know, because if the Miis are gone, say whatever you want, but I like having personal representations of yourself, people you know, and characters you create.
I think this is a bigger example of Nintendo, like, going out with the old and with the new. Like, other systems, when the new system comes out, they don't just cancel the old system, they still make games. Even Nintendo used to do that. When the Super Nintendo came out, Nintendo did like, oh, Super Nintendo's out, let's cancel Nintendo games now. No, they still made Nintendo games after the Super Nintendo came out. They just overlapped for a while before they finally ended it. And like PS3 and PS4, when the PS4 came out, they still made PS3 games, like the KH 1.5, 2.5 PS3 came out while the PS4 was out. So games can overlap a little bit. I'm sure the Xbox 360 and the One can overlap a little bit too. But no, as soon as the Switch came out, the Wii U's like, okay, no more games. Wii U's dead. Wii U's dead. The last game was the Breath of the Wild, I think. Like, no more. And, like, they stopped it, and now they're doing the same thing with the MiiVerse. There needs to be some overlaps a little bit between the old and new systems, instead of just letting it die. Hello?
Huh? What?
Well, the thing is, when old systems are obsolete, why continue them when interest on the new system's going to continue? Like, the thing is, some people would argue the 360 and PS3 lasted too long past their successors.
Well, a lot of people can't buy the new system right away.
The thing is, like, take the PS1 for example. The PS2 came out in 2000. The PS1 was readily available until like early 2006. Same thing for the PS2. The PS3 comes out in 2006. The PS2 survived all the way to early 2013. And the thing about the PS3 is that the very first models were $600, and then eventually Sony removed the emulation for PS2 games from the PS3 because they figured out it would literally be cheaper to get a non-backwards compatible PS3 and a $100 PS2 separately. So that's probably the reason why the PS2 lasted so long, because it was so popular.
Schneck.
What?
You can create up to 100 Miis. Though right now I'm trying to figure out how to delete a Mii.
Hang! Miis! Survive!
But yeah, I get.
Yes!
How long did the NES last after Super? How long did the NES last?
Well, Nintendo is kind of infamous for how they discontinue their systems and almost immediately after their successors come out. Like, we're not going to be talking like the Game Boy or anything like that, but portable systems. But in terms of home systems, so the Super Nintendo comes out in 1991. The NES did not die until like maybe 94, 95.
Like 3 years, or like at least a year or two overlap there.
Yeah, it's actually more like 3-4 years. The Super Nintendo, well, the N64 came out in 96. The Super Nintendo did not die until 99. And there were still games coming out for the Super Nintendo until like 97. By Nintendo. In fact, well, Mario RPG launched just months before the N64 came out, and then Donkey Kong Country 3 and Kirby's Dream Land 3 came out after the N64 released.
Which was kind of crazy.
they were probably in development for a while, and they decided, and just keep. Not to mention, on the N64, they were pushing 3D, and if you'll notice, there's not a lot of 2D games on the N64.
Oh, you know what this reminds me of? The MiiVerse's near death. This reminds me of how Flipnote Antenna was discontinued because of a contract ending.
What was discontinued because of a contract ending?
Flipnote Antenna for the DSi.
Oh.
And then Nintendo tried to recreate Flipnote Studio for the 3DS, and then for some reason they went completely unannounced, and then eventually they put it on Nintendo Club, or now My Nintendo, and they don't even have online capabilities whatsoever. Even though they stated they were going to have online capabilities just as a subscription.
I'll tell you this much. Well, getting back to the discontinuation Nintendo systems, it's with the N64 where stuff went downhill. The N64 was discontinued pretty much immediately when the GameCube came out in 2001. Only like one more game, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 3, came out in 2002 for the N64. But by then, you couldn't buy the system new anymore. The GameCube only lasted about a year after the Wii came out. And it only got like one game after the Wii came out, Zelda Twilight Princess, which was also available on the Wii.
Yeah, I just noticed that. I just realized something.
What?
Both the crossover games for both systems are usually Zelda games. Like, the GameCube and the Wii U both had Twilight Princess. The Wii and the Wii U both had Skyward Sword, and the Wii U...
No, they didn't. Skyward Sword was not on the Wii U. They did add it, but it's just the Wii version.
Oh, never mind then.
And
then
Twilight Princess was on the Wii, not Wii U.
That's what we said. Twilight Princess was on the GameCube and the Wii.
Well, technically Vandalia said Wii U, but whatever.
It did.
Wii Woo.
Yeah.
Anyways, and Breath of the... I guess, never mind. And Breath of the Wild is on the Wii U and the Switch.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm. Well, the reason why Breath of the Wild is on the Wii U was because the Wii U version was actually being developed before the Switch version, but then Nintendo was like, oh, we have this new console, and we want you to develop this game for the Switch. And they were like, what the hell? So, yeah, technically Wii U version of Breath of the Wild was being developed before the Switch version. So, if anything, the Switch version is technically a port of the Wii U version.
Well, the thing about Breath of the Wild is that it got delayed numerous times. Like, its production was a little bit troubled. And by the time Nintendo realized the Wii U was failing, they figured, you know what, we may as well port this to the Switch.
Yeah. Well, technically, Nintendo wanted them to port it in the first place. I don't know if it had anything to do with the fact that the Wii U was dying, they realized it, or if they just wanted them to because it was their new console.
Yeah, well, the thing is, getting back to the whole discontinuation thing, so the Wii actually did survive a little bit past the Wii U's launch, but it eventually died. I think maybe 2 years after the Wii U. I think the original Wii died in 2013. So yeah, it's only like a little bit more than a year. About a year after the Wii U launched. And then the Wii U died pretty much as soon as the Switch came in, even though Nintendo originally claimed that the Switch would be a companion to the Wii U, which we all know is not the case now. But off topic, but kind of on topic, the Switch actually was the number one selling system this last month or something like that. It beat out the PS4 and Xbox One. And it was also recently announced that the Switch version of Skyrim, Skyrim gets so many ports that people are just waiting for Elder Scrolls 6. Meanwhile, I'm not a fan of Elder Scrolls, so I don't care. Bethesda announced that Doom 2016 and Wolfenstein 2 are getting releases on the Switch. Which I thought was kind of curious, but the thing is, Doom and Wolfenstein 2 are like big graphical power games that probably need to run at... Well, they both run at 60 frames on the PS4. At least I'm assuming Wolfenstein 2 is going to be doing it. I know Doom does it. But the thing is, I don't think the Switch is as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox One, so they're probably going to have to cap the frame rate a little bit.
Well, it depends on whether or not the Switch is on the dock or not, really. Though,
yeah, that's probably one deciding factor. I mean,
I've seen so far,
did they make Mario Kart 60 frames?
Well, hold on. From what I've seen so far, when you compare the Switch's graphics between on-dock and off-dock, I haven't really noticed not much of anything, to be honest with you. And also, I can't answer Mario Kart 8 because I don't have it, so...
Yeah, well, I know that the Switch is at least on par with the Wii U, but I don't think it's as strong as the PS4 and Xbox. Well, if the Switch can run Breath...
It's not on par with the Wii U.
I said at least on par. I didn't say it was on par, because they both have Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Oh, well, yeah.
So, I'd imagine the Switch is a little more powerful when it's docked, but I don't think it's as powerful as the PS4 and Xbox One, is it?
No, but that doesn't mean that it's not powerful nonetheless.
I'm just wondering because we have the PlayStation 4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and developers are going to want to try and push for their games to be more natively supported on the upgraded systems. I'm wondering how the Switch is going to be able to have those graphically intensive games. I mean, I'd love for the Switch to have more games, because the thing about the Wii U is that I barely have games for it.
I only have 2 games for it right now. If I ever get this... Mario told me to get this Splatoon game so I can play with him before it dies.
Yeah.
What are the 2 games you have?
I have Pikmin 3 and the game it came with, Mario Kart 8.
Oh. Maybe you could play Mario Kart 8 with me, because I have it.
You'd win. I am bad at racing.
I'm not the best at racing either. You know what? I think that if we have the time, this just segued into another topic. Like, we should describe what genres of games we're good at and not good at.
But I am better at racing than I am at ice cream.
Ice cream, cookies, and no.
Yeah.
Who did the ice cream game? Ventus or Aqua?
Ventus. Aqua
I went
was
some ice cream, some cookies, and I wanted now.
Aqua was fruit ball.
Oh, you guys, also, I just realized another thing. If Nintendo gets rid of MiiVerse, then they're also getting rid of a way to get free Nintendo points. Because you have that sign-in thing for...
those
Nintendo.
points are useless anyway.
Pretty sure you can get some stuff with it.
Some stuff, but I guarantee you not much. I think I legit have been building up points by just simply going into my Nintendo, and I have enough for the frickin' coupons. And that's after I deleted the frickin' Mii app after it prevented me from recording that frickin' fire.
Yeah. But back to past consoles, I don't think it was that big a deal. I guess it was a little bit when... I mean, it still was a big deal when they canceled the GameCube and the Wii, when the Wii U and Wii came out. But at the time, you can play GameCube games on the Wii, and you can play Wii games on the Wii U. I don't think you can play GameCube games on the Wii U, but
No, you can't.
But you can download them, I guess.
you can't download them either. They never made any available.
And the funny thing was that they make a GameCube controller and a GameCube controller port only for Smash 4, and then on top of that, they don't make it available to use in any other game. So the only
yeah, that was
Smash
a
4.
waste of money, but of course all the Smash Bros. Fanboys ate it up.
I was ecstatic
they just
when they announced it.
Oh my god, my freaking headset for Xbox One. They could have just spent money for this, as opposed to getting an adapter just to use the real thing. And this could have been used on any Wii U games that supported it, because there were plenty. All VC games included.
It's too bad you can't hook your... Oh, sorry,
what?
go on. I was saying it's too bad you can't hook up your Wii U to the Switch as an extra screen or something.
Thankfully, Nintendo finally got with the times, and they made it to where all your purchases and whatnot are saved onto an online account. So I'm pretty sure that if they bring the VC onto the Switch, hopefully the Switch store will recognize that you purchased the Wii U version and give you a discount, like how they did for Wii to Wii U on the VC.
Or not better yet, but there is a kind of virtual console that has been announced so far. You know what it is?
Neo Geo?
No. Well, technically, it's not. I don't count it as a virtual console because they don't label it as virtual console, and it doesn't let you.
Well, what they announce?
Well, also, it doesn't let you do anything like save states or anything. But what they did announce was a thing called Arcade Archives, where it's basically arcade games. But it's not like when they did a virtual console for Donkey Kong, but it ended up being the NES version. No, it's like the legit arcade game. They're including games that have so far been announced, such as Versus Ice Climbers, Versus Excite Bike, even Versus Super Mario Brothers, and even that Punch-Out game with the dual screen. Even though the Switch only has one screen. And on top of that, apparently they're putting in subtle differences that you cannot find in the original arcade versions, specifically for the Switch. So you'll be able to find Easter eggs on top of that. I'm assuming it'll probably be something like how they did those subtle Luigi Easter eggs in NES Remix 1 and 2.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe they'll do something like that, or even better than that. Yeah, I feel that Nintendo right now is doing good things and then also doing bad things at the same time. Like they feel, I think they feel as though the Wii U needs to be retconned completely, and they're slowly doing it. And meanwhile, they're pushing stuff for the Switch as much as they can. But it's they need to realize that, yeah, the Wii U wasn't like the most successful console they had, but
why all the hate?
Use it.
Why is all this hate for the Wii U?
I mean, the thing with the Wii U is that it was not selling well. I don't know exactly why it sold well, but I think the reason why it didn't sell well at first was because of bad marketing, people thought it was just an add-on for the original Wii. And by the time people realized the contrary, a lot of third-party developers were seeing the huge, dismal sales, and a lot of companies were just pulling out. And a lot of there were meant to be a lot of Wii U exclusives, like Ninja Gaiden 3, Razor's Edge, Deus Ex Human Revolution, Director's Cut, stuff like that. But then they ended up getting ports to the PS3 and 360 because the sales for the Wii U were that bad. In fact, at some points, it was shown that the Vita was outselling the Wii U, and the Vita was a pretty big flop for Sony as well, because Sony basically gave up marketing it after the first year.
Oh, yeah. Because Wii U is totally an add-on to the Wii. Oh, the add-on can do HD graphics? Whoa! That's amazing! And then fucking sees price point of like $400. Oh my god, that is such a huge price, but HD? Yeah, because your console will now be able to do HD using a tablet-looking controller.
So people,
And in HD, even though the Wii doesn't have an HDMI port whatsoever. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So basically, people thought, oh, they're taking this and adding this. Basically, that was the upgrade. People thought.
And I don't understand why people would think that. Like, how stupid are you to even think that? Like, I'm not trying to sound like a fanboy of Nintendo, but I mean, come the fuck on. An add-on that's $300 to $400? What kind of fucking add-on prices are $300 to $400? What the hell? And I'm pretty sure the box clearly shows that the console is with the gamepad, and the console doesn't even look like a fucking Wii. And, like, I don't understand. And it's especially worse when you realize that they have demo kiosks of the Wii U, so you physically see what it looks like. They don't use original Wiis, they use a fucking new console.
Yeah, here's the Wii, here's the Wii U. It's like bigger.
It's bigger, the Wii U is more rounded out instead of the Wii. I mean, come the fuck on. I don't understand that shit, dude. Like, you can't seriously be that fucking stupid to think, Wii U is an add-on? Yeah, cause the fucking Switch is an add-on to the 3DS, huh?
But don't worry.
Hey, look, wireless controllers. Whoa, I can control my 3DS.
In about 5 years, we'll have the Wii Mini and the Wii U Mini.
Or better yet, oh, a dock. They call it Switch. Oh, that must be an add-on for the 3DS. Now I can finally play my 3DS games on the big TV.
But that would be awesome, though. If they could do.
I guess it's because of the usage of the Wii name. Like, people just associate it with the original Wii too much. Not to mention, probably, I heard part of the reason the Wii did so well was because the motion controls basically gave a bunch of shovelware games for little kids that weren't good at games to play, as with their families. And the thing is, by the time the Wii U came out, we get these goddamn phones with their goddamn Candy Crushes and their goddamn other things. And kids were playing on that instead of using their Wii remotes.
But back to that other thing. Actually, that would be a good thing to have your 3DS able to play on your home screen, on your big TV, because that would make recording games that much easier, besides having to either having an emulator or camera to your 3DS, or having to send it away that be hacked, put the device on. You have to record it.
It's not necessarily hack, it's more of a mod, and it's a physical mod, so it's unofficially possible, but, you know, you just have to send it in somewhere, pay a certain amount, and there you go. That's
or buy one off of eBay or whatever already modded.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because I'm not gonna, if I buy a 3DS, I'm not gonna send it away and hope to send it back.
I'm also pretty sure that the new 3DS is capable of having that mod too, I think. So, there's that.
Why this make it built in? I mean, the PSP you could do that on the PSP. You could have it, you could connect wires to it, or the PS Vita. I'm not sure which one it was, but why couldn't 3DS do that? But apparently they don't want to do that. So
well, here's the thing though. The 3DS's storage is already pretty small to begin with. Adding that capability would basically make your storage space even smaller, because, I mean, if you're recording on a 3DS on itself and it was a built-in thing, God have mercy on your storage space and SD cards, because that shit will be eaten up fast.
all you need is a wire to connect. All you need is a output wire to connect to a screen.
Well, the whole purpose of the 3DS is to be portable, like completely portable. You can't. I mean, I guess technically they could have a port there, but then that would just raise the price point even further. And the price point originally was already high enough to the point where they actually had to lower it. Well, unless that's a sale that one Christmas, I'm just thinking wrong. But I'm pretty sure they lower the price at some point.
So I guess I think they're going to have in 5 years, they're going to have a Wii Mini and a Wii U Mini. They already have a Nintendo Mini and a Super Nintendo Mini.
Actually, technically, they already have the Wii Mini. It's the same thing as the Wii, except it can't connect to the internet. Or at least I'm pretty sure not wirelessly. I don't know about physically, but wirelessly, no. You're not connecting the internet wirelessly. So, yeah, it's pretty stupid. And also, the NES and SNES Mini is fucking retarded because you can already emulate the games for free and more than Nintendo provide.
You can download them on the Wii U.
I've actually done a test to see how many games on both 3DS and Wii U's eShop you can get, and I primarily use the Wii U's eShop, and I went through every game, and you can get almost every game on the NES. There's a couple of games that you can get, but they're for Game Boy, but they're basically the same, just without color.
I do wish, however, you could play your 3DS games on your Wii U because there's 3DS games. They're on the 3DS and the DS. I want to play. I'm gonna have to emulate later on because I don't have that system yet.
Oh yeah, and also to point out another argument. Oh, but the NES Mini costs less because this game costs this much, so therefore it adds up to $60, and therefore it's cheaper than getting every one of them on the eShop.
Well, it did cost less until sorry.
Okay, then at that point, then emulate the fucking things because then you can get even more games than that. And if you're worried about the official controllers and how you want to use the official controllers to play the games, just get controllers that have a USB port, and there you go. You can just do that, and there you go. Technically, original console.
Your argument would stand point.
Original controllers, fuck.
Sorry. Well, your argument would stand point. Well, your argument would be true if, once again, Nintendo didn't cancel the system a year after they made it. Oh, we're not making the minis anymore. Now it's sold for $1,000 on eBay.
Oh, and they're apparently bringing the freaking NES Classic back.
What? They're doing that?
Apparently, yes. But, like when the Super Nintendo Classic pre-orders were a complete disaster, Nintendo made a statement saying, "Oh, we're going to ensure more available." And then while they were at it, they made a statement confirming that next year they were bringing the NES Classic back.
I'm honestly slightly tempted to get the NES Classic, mainly because of the fact of fear of it being discontinued again, and then making it almost impossible to get again.
I actually got it with my taxes because I'm not. No, it was spare money. What?
What's the funny, Schnick?
I didn't even know he freaking had that thing. Oh my god!
Yeah, I got these two at the same time, along with the Kingdom Hearts. My two Kingdom Hearts, along with the PS4 Kingdom Hearts games.
How did I not remember that? Like, I think now that I think about it, when you got the Wii U, I think you did say you had the freaking NES Classic, but then I think I forgot since then.
Of course, I haven't really used it that much, really.
Wait, how many times do you think? Well, not how many times. Okay, how often do you think you use it? Like,
I used it once or twice since I got it.
And see, that's why I'm not buying one.
The only game I played on it.
How insignificant the console is.
The only game I played on it so far is Excite Bike.
Wow, that's
I
kind
I
of
did a Let's
sad.
Play of but yeah, but I only got it because I had used my taxes of like I spent half my money on Disney World and the other half on the games consoles because the only time I can buy anything is with taxes.
Sorry about that, people.
But yeah, you can hear our rant about it last season, episode 1 of season 4. Other Nintendo rants.
Wow.
That's the episode where Mario made his debut.
Oh yeah, and also, okay, I'm just gonna state all my arguments as to why you should just emulate the games yourself and not get NES Classic or SNES
Or even
Classic.
just buy them on the freaking Wii U or Switch when they come out, inevitably.
Oh, speaking of emulation,
Wait, I didn't even get to my arguments yet.
Sorry.
Alright, so here's my arguments why. 1, you can already emulate all those games that they provide both on Nintendo Classic and eShop on both 3DS and Wii U, plus more. 2, you can get the original controllers but with a USB port so you can play them on your computer. If you really want to use those the NES Classic controller on your Wii U, you can either just get the NES Classic if you seriously want it or think you want it, or you can get the controller itself and then there you go. In fact, I'm pretty sure you can even use a controller with the Wii U Virtual Console games you already have. 3, it's a lot cheaper to just emulate them, to the point where if you really wanted to, you could do it for free. And yeah, I think that's about it. 4, you can also corrupt the games if you wanted to. And when I mean corrupt, I mean think Vine Sauce. And when you corrupt ROMs, you don't like permanently destroy the ROM. It still works. It's just a kind of fun thing, I guess. And also this is for Nintendo Switch Virtual Console 5. I'm pretty sure that you can use NetPlay for NES games. So yeah, there's that. For SNES Classic, the past arguments I just made plus 6, Star Fox 2, the unofficial game that was never you could have actually been able to play that game many years before the SNES Classic was even a thought, because it was actually leaked online years ago, and there's YouTube videos showing gameplay of it. In fact, no, there's YouTube videos showing the entire game. In fact, the game is so complete that you could basically play the entire game without problems. They just never released it in the first place. And
Just like Thrill Kill on the PS1.
And it's such a selling point for the SNES Classic, except when you realize that you can just play it for free, because you can emulate them with ease. And you can still use the original controller, but with a USB port to plug into your computer if you really wanted to. And yeah, that's basically why you really shouldn't buy the NES Classic or SNES Classic. But at this point, the only reason why I would even say you should buy it is mainly for collecting purposes, because the NES Classic already fucking went out of the fucking shelves and stayed off the shelves for a long time. And if Nintendo's actually putting them back on shelves again, then yeah, I guess then you would have reason to buy it and SNES Classic when it comes out. Otherwise, no reason.
Yeah, basically all it was is for Nintendo with an HD port.
Oh, and you want to know what's really funny? They could have easily fit a lot more games on the NES Classic. And we know this for a fact because people have actually hacked the NES Classic and added more games onto it. Like, I mean, a lot of games. Like, holy crap.
And game people actually play. Half the games on this thing I have no interest in ever playing on it.
Honestly, it's kind of a ridiculous amount how many more games you can actually put on the NES Classic. And honestly, it's kind of stupid that Nintendo only has such a small selection of games. I mean, it's not like it costs them money to put the ROMs on the console. It doesn't cost them anything at all.
They own the
Probably
games.
only spend money on the plastic, and that's it.
And plus, how much storage space does a ROM for the NES use up?
Probably a couple of bytes or kilobytes.
That many? That many?
Yeah,
I know that N64 ROMs I've looked at barely clock in at like 10 megabytes.
Yeah, it's kind of sad, honestly. They could have easily put way more games. Hell,
Yes.
even Nintendo Classic exclusive ROMs on there, so then they don't put them on eShop, so then they can sell NES Classic instead. And then there you go.
Yeah, I saw some. Apparently, people when it came out, people made YouTube videos about how it was superior. They're like, look at the graphics; it's superior to the Wii U graphics. Look at the side by side. I don't know. Apparently, the side by side comparisons about this is the game on the Wii U. This is the game on the. This is the same game on the Mini. See the difference? I'm like, not really. It'd be a little bit clearer, but what's the big deal about being clearer?
Yeah, I mean, the graphics are already good enough. I mean, how good graphics can you get on a fucking NES game? Like, honestly.
Besides, the NES games were supposed to be, like, I'm going to say bad graphics, but that was the whole point. The pixel thing back in the day, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Not to mention also that, yeah, NES does have 3 save state slots, which is 2 more than what the Wii U provides. That's only 3. Okay. Well, why would I need 3 of them? That's kind of weird. I mean, I don't know what people use 3 save states for, but whatever.
Like, I don't know, like maybe 2 practice ones and one Let's Play one.
I mean, better yet, if you're gonna have more than one, then the only reason I would even have that for is so that I can save state, like, when the game is beginning the process of the end game. Like, basically what I mean is think of Super Mario Brothers, in which it's 8-4, and you hit the axe, and when you hit the axe, that's when you save state, and then there you go. It will automatically play out through there, and then you can then say, hey, you want to see me beat the game super fast? Oh yeah, sure. Load save state. Beat it.
Now, question: was that 3 save states for the whole system, or 3 save states per game?
Per game.
Oh, so like pretty much. So that's like there's like 30 save states then.
Wait, 30?
Yeah,
30 save
oh,
states?
no, 300 save states. Oh, 3. I
Wait,
can't do math.
Shit.
I can't do math.
Wait. Actually, wait, maybe it is 300. Well, no, wait. No, it can't be 300. What am I saying?
90.
Alright, let's just get the calculator out, okay? Just get the calculator and everything will be... Where the fuck's my calculator app? Okay, there it is. Fucking Windows 7 calculator app. Okay. 30... No, wait. 3 times 30... 90. Oh, you bastard! You fucking brought up your calculator. What the hell?
No calculator. 3 times 3 is 9 plus a 0 is 90. Math.
Oh, you bitch. And the fact that we both said it at the same time, too.
But that's what they're talking about. But really fast to go that topic. Apparently, Snick here has finally has gotten the emulation, learned about emulations.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He finally did. And I think he's happy about it, right?
Yeah, I've played games that I would have never been able to play otherwise. Like, I may have mentioned before that I like the Front Mission series, which is a series of Final Fantasy Tactics style games, but with mechs. And the thing is, that series mostly does not exist outside of Japan. But thanks to EPSXC, I can now play an English translated version of the second game. which infamously caused the 5th game to not even be considered for localization, giving it the 2nd game was never released in America. Ever. The only reason the 5th game was never considered for localization was because it was basically anthology through the ages story where you basically needed to have played every mainline entry before it to understand it. And the thing is, the 3rd game, which you got me for Christmas last year, that was the first game to get a release in America. And even then, from what I heard, they censored it by removing a lot of bad language. Like, the version of Front Mission 2 I'm playing, they say shit quite a bit. But in Front Mission 3, the worst they go is damn. And in addition, I saw they censored some of the violence. Like, supposedly there's one scene where a character commits suicide. In the Japanese version, you see, like, some red mist indicating blood, whereas in the American version, you don't see anything. You just see the gunshot and the character falling.
Oh, well.
Like the Japanese version of K8, where Will has a gun to his head, and it was like, nope, not doing that.
Nope.
In the American version.
Even though the original movie did that. But now the thing is, other games I got to experience with an emulator, I got to play Pepsi Man, a game I knew about for the longest time, but it was only released in Japan because Pepsi Man's a Japanese Pepsi mascot. And I got to play it finally years after originally discovering it.
Was it Crystal Pepsi Man or Pepsi Fireman?
Just
Oh
Pepsi
my
Man.
god.
Then let's see. I also got to play a game that was infamously never released, Thrill Kill, which is like a 3D Power Stone Mortal Kombat style game. Maybe. It's kind of like PlayStation All-Stars, actually, and Shrek Super Slam, where you have to build up a power meter, and once you build it up, you have to go up to one of the characters who have to dodge you as your power meter runs out, and if you catch one of the characters, you basically can perform a fatality on them.
Wow.
And it knocks them out of the game. The game was meant to be released in the late 90s. I think its cancellation was one thing that put Virgin Interactive in the coffin, because I think it was a Virgin Interactive game with EA publishing it, but then EA pulled out at the last minute because they didn't like how violent the game was. Reportedly, it was because... Now, why they didn't like the violent content depends on who you ask. Some people claim that the violence was so great the game would have gotten an AO rating. I don't see that. It doesn't look anything worse than what Mortal Kombat is. Or people were claiming that EA had a good old boy image that didn't want to go past a T rating. Which was a bullshit argument, considering that 1 year later they would release American McGee's Alice, which is hardcore M-rated. And of course, EA had no problem with M-rated games later.
I'll be back.
You can go on. I think he's muted the mic.
Alright, well... So what happened is... Yeah, so Thrill Kill is probably one of the more well-known unreleased games to eventually have leaked on the internet, and now it's widely playable through use of emulators. And the thing is, the game was basically completed. So it's not like you're missing anything. In fact, when I checked my memory card screen in EPSXE, which you can do, it even has a save file icon.
weird. Hold on. I think it froze.
Then let's see.
Oh yeah, we are frozen. I think we are frozen right now.
Wah, wah.
It says live stream health is good, I guess, but I'm watching this. Let's see his pros on this. Yeah, check the stream real fast. You have the stream link?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm checking it. I am checking it.
As soon as he left,
Our voices are okay, but our video's frozen, looks like.
as soon as he left, as soon as Mario left, it all went downhill.
God damn you, Mario. Oh my god.
So what games are you planning to emulate for Let's Plays?
Well, when I eventually have to play Cage Days, the whole reason why I was opposed to emulating was because I knew it was 100%. I knew it was basically legal if you owned actual physical copies. So the whole reason I wanted to get a DS emulator was because I wanted to be able to record Days in high quality. I did not want to modify my 3DS for recording. Hell no. So, given that I have a copy of Days, there we go. I can just play it on there. And if I do Let's Play DS games, it will probably be through the DS emulator. And I probably will play Pepsi Man at one point, just as a joke.
Yeah, you really have to for the portable game. You can't really emulate. Not emulate. You can't really capture card the portable games unless you get a thing. But I mean, you can. There's ways to connect your wires for consoles to the emulators, not emulators, capture cards now with Wii U, the Switch, and PS4, PS3. All you use is cord splitter.
Yeah, I know the PSP allowed you to output video to a TV screen, at least the 2000, 3000 did. But the DS did not. The Game Boy, you would have to use a Game Boy player. Well, any of the Game Boys. The Vita, you can buy a PlayStation TV, but it doesn't have 100% compatibility. Some of which is stupid, because they sometimes lock out PSP games when it makes no freaking sense.
Yeah, why wasn't the PSP compatible with the Vita?
Well, it was compatible with Vita, but it was digital download only.
Except for a few
Because
games.
the thing is, the PSP and the Vita had different storage outputs for physical copies. Like, the PSP was on weird discs called UMDs, and then the Vita was basically on DS-style game cards.
But you couldn't play it like Crisis Core or before on the
Yeah,
Vita.
Crisis Core you could not play on Vita because it was a disc-only release. Sad thing is, in Japan, they actually did offer a transfer program that would allow Japanese players to get their physical copies of games onto their Vita. No such luck for America and Europe.
Oh, his like, while you were gone, our video feed froze, but apparently yours still works. There it goes.
Is it fine now, or?
It's reloading right now.
Oh, well, to me it seems fine now.
We were frozen this whole time.
Oh, what? Really? Oh, that
as soon as you left, we got frozen.
Oh, I think it's because I minimized everything by accident or something.
Wah, wah.
Sandwich.
Well, I guess since you had the real webcam on your OBS, your video was fine.
Mm. So what else did I miss?
We just talked about how you Snick, give them the abridged version of what you talked about.
I was basically talking about storage outputs for the PSP and Vita, and how PSP games that were physical only were not playable on Vita. And I was also talking about how you could record portable games. The Game Boy family, you just use a Game Boy player. DS, you either need to modify your DS or use an emulator. I know some models of the PSP let you output video to your TV, but the Vita, you would have to buy a PlayStation TV, and even then, not all the games are compatible. Some Vita games are understandable because you can't make heavy use of the touchscreen on a PlayStation TV or use the camera. But some PSP games that were compatible with the Vita don't work on the PlayStation TV for literally no goddamn reason.
Wow.
So, yeah. What the fuck?
But yeah, I remember the first time. I think I mentioned this before. But I actually bought my first emulation back when I knew you could get it for free. At the time I would have internet. So someone literally for $5 at school sold me a disc with NES emulation and Final Fantasy 1 on it, like a little floppy disk. They copied it for me. Cost me $5 back then. I didn't have internet for another. I wouldn't have internet for another like 4 years after that. But yeah, I took it home and played Final Fantasy. I played it at school. Didn't have Peter played on it yet either, so I played during class. Final Fantasy 1.
Wow. Did you get caught?
No. I don't know. I used to play Carmen San Diego and Oregon Trail in school computers too, because they were built-in games.
You know, the last time I went, actually no, the first time I went to the public library in Arizona, you know what I saw people playing on the computers?
What?
Fucking Roblox. And they were kids too. But yeah, kids were playing Roblox on public computers.
Speaking of kids, off topic a little bit.
Oh god.
Back to our math talking about math in our head real fast. I think I mentioned this before, but apparently there's this. People talking about. I saw videos on the internet about this, and people talk about it in school. People have kids at my work saying about this thing called Common Core math.
Mm-hmm.
You guys heard of it?
Common Core sounds familiar.
Apparently, there's this new math kids have to learn. Where apparently I saw this video about this. This kid had to translate 5 times 3 into addition problem, and 5 plus 5 plus 5 was wrong, but 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 plus 3 was right.
Oh, I think you mentioned that before, actually.
It's this weird new math thing that kids have to learn now.
Yeah, that sounds fucking stupid. And
Even though
very inefficient.
Even though it's the same way of writing it, he got it wrong, apparently.
And that's why I hate
No. The best thing happened when I watched a review from Dark Lord Shadow.
About Common Core math?
No, but it has something to do with not getting the right answer and being wrong. Let me look it up actually, and then quickly. Because I just want to make sure I get it right. I found the video.
That was fast.
Okay. So he plays this murder mystery game that has all these pre-made assets and was lazily made by the developer. But then he goes through the game for a while, and he deduces that a character named Lord Rain is the murderer, and that he committed the murder in the kitchen of the mansion you're walking through, and that he used a pickaxe to commit the murder.
So he puts a clue ripoff or something.
Yeah, it's a clue ripoff. So he puts in all his answers, and this is what the game tells him, word for word. Sorry, you were wrong in your suspicions. The murder was actually committed by Lord Rain in the kitchen with the pickaxe.
What? Are you fucking serious?
Oh, but yep, that's exactly. Do you want to hear his reaction?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry if you're not be able to hear this, but I'm gonna. Let me know if you can hear it.
Can't.
Can't hear it. You can't understand it. It's too quiet. Schneck, I thought you knew by now that doing your computer speakers wasn't the best idea because it hasn't worked ever. Still can't understand it.
Oh my god!
See, told you.
Don't give me that shit!
I didn't give you any shit.
God. Well, now. You know what? I'm gonna play it on the phone because the phone is the surefire way that lets you hear it.
All hell the cell phone.
And fuck my cell phone.
I still got a SIM.
Oh my god! Why did I forget about the goddamn phone?
I got finally mailed to you.
Did you hear Star Wars?
I heard something.
Alright.
After spending hours traipsing around this mansion, I finally found all the keys, got enough lockpicks, solved all the puzzles, and I had all of the evidence. I figured out that Lord Rain is the killer because none of the other characters supported his alibi. I knew the pickaxe was the murder weapon because it was the only weapon in the game that I couldn't find, and I saw some weird white stains on the floor of the kitchen that I guessed were supposed to be the bloodstains. So I entered in my official guess. Lord Rain killed him in the kitchen with a pickaxe. I enter in my guess, and it's wrong. Sorry, you were wrong in your suspicions. The murder was actually committed by Lord Rain in the kitchen with the pickaxe. I f***ing said that! Yep. The game rejects correcting.
Oh my god.
So why was that answer wrong? Do you say it wrong, or you write it down wrong or something?
No, it's because the game is bugged and it's programmed to say you're wrong all the time.
Oh my god. Oh, that was amazing.
Yep.
Alright, so before we end this, you have any final words to say about the MiiVerse and other stuff we talked about today?
I saw the crazy drawings people made in MiiVerse, and those are probably going to be gone after it's gone.
I say use MiiVerse as much as you can in an effort to get Nintendo's attention, and hopefully it'll work.
Pick it up while you can. Nintendo's Psycho Dad right now. Pick them up while you can, because I'm still mowing them over. Please, I have thousands of drawings. I'm still mowing it. I don't care. You gotta get a Switch.
Yeah.
What does this achieve? What's that, Chief? What? What is this gonna do? Destroying MiiVerse! Maybe you'll quit playing Wii U for a while, get a Switch, and check out our new games. I'm never gonna quit MiiVerse!
Oh my god. Holy shit. Oh, and also, before Vandalia does the rest of his outro, what I said, and also, Schnick learned something today. You know what that is?
What?
He learned that whenever he's playing a video, he should never use his computer's speakers because it never works. Ever.
Bang, bang! I'll smash my speakers after this recording.
What the fuck?
Brandon taught me that. If something frustrates you, you just break it.
Okay.
Oh my god!
If something frustrates me, just break it. My life. Oh, okay.
Well, remember, folks. Play your. If you have a Wii U, play as much as you can, and join us. And if you can, we'll see you on the MiiVerse. And who knows? Maybe they'll have a Parasite game for the Wii U, talking about it there. And join us next week. I shall be live from Walt Disney World. I think I can hear your thing.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Join me next week. I'll be live from Disney World. My mic will probably be muted, but you all can see the scene through my cell phone of the park.
Yeah, maybe you can go through a couple of the rides while streaming it.
We shall see. And,
just don't drop your phone when you go upside down. Is all I have to say.
Probably be riding your roller coasters. But anyways, if you can't hear me, these two or maybe three, if Brandon can actually show up next week, will be here to entertain you.
I'll figure something out. Both of us will actually.
Alright. We'll see you all next time, and be sure to check out these guys' Let's Plays on their channels. Brandon. No, MarioTube is doing a live stream Mario hack, and Stick here is finally getting his Kingdom Hearts Recom uploaded.
Yes, I am. In fact, I'll probably process a video after this.
The post-commentary episodes are finally up, and join me as me and Mario are slowly editing my Kingdom Hearts Let's Play, and as always,
ending.
What?
Ending? What do you mean ending?
What do you mean?
He said slowly.
The editing of the.
Oh, editing.
Yeah, he said editing.
Oh, it sounded like he said ending.
And as always, enjoy the randomness. See ya.
Bye-bye.
And some departing words from Brandon.
Is not surviving well.
No! I will do anything if you fucking don't break that anymore.
You better take it out of its protective layer.
Fucking bitch.
Alright, that's it. We're done. Did you end it in the middle of that?
No.
Oh, okay.